text this morning is coming from the 5th chapter of Galatians, 1 through 26. We're going to kind of skip through that, but the title of it is Freedom. Freedom. Are you really free? You know, well, I took history in school because I had to. But I didn't like history because history told his story. It didn't tell ours. And so I want to just open our eyes and minds this morning to all my young folk. You know, we started something over at St. Andrews, and then just this Sunday we said we're going to dress as somebody famous and to understand some of our history. Well, I got a $5 bill for somebody to tell me who I am, young folk. No, Brennan, no. Tavion, no. Who am I? Put your hand up, tell me. Who am I? Who am I? Give me. Who? Yeah, I'm a pastor, but that's not, hey, I don't want the name of the pastor I am. Who am I? Nah, who am I? $5. Oh, look, $5 it's just. Oh man, oh. We don't know our history. Let me tell you something. Who? That was a guy that he was the forerunner for Martin Luther King. He preached it. Dexter Avenue Baptist Church. Oh, I see some of my older people looking at me. Who is that? Who is it? Vernon John. That is. You too old. Vernon John. I want you all to go home. I know y'all got them cell phones. And I want y'all to look up Vernon Johns. I want y'all to go look at the movie, Dr. Vernon Johns, and see how important he was to history. Vernon Johns was the forerunner for Martin Luther King. He was a great civil rights preacher, but they never kept him in a home because he didn't take a whole lot of stuff. He wanted everything to go right. He was fighting for black rights. He made his children, you can't ride that bus no more. I'm going to go ahead and pay my money on that bus, and I'm paying the same amount as a white folk, but I got to sit in the back. He said, no, sir, you won't ride the bus. You know what? See, we got to have people to start standing up like that again. See, we've gotten away from being who we are. That's why I always ask, are we really free? We know that Jesus came down and freed us from the bondage of sin. And we're free. But freedom isn't freedom for us to go back and do some of the same things that we're doing. I don't like what's going on in our communities right now. I look around and I'm almost in tears as I see what's going on in our communities. I cut on my TV and I see my young folks killing each other. For what? Drive by, just shooting. Why? Are we really free? Freedom is freedom ringing in our ears. Do we hear it? You see that first verse in the book of Galatians, 5th chapter. It says this. Stand fast, therefore, in the liberty wherewith Jesus has made us free. Jesus has already made you free. And be not entangled again with the yoke of bondage. when we're entangled with the yoke of bondage, the mighty dollar leads us to do things that we don't normally do. It takes us out of our character. You have to learn that freedom, when we were free back in the day, if I hurt, you hurt. If I got a loaf of bread, you can get half of it. Where has all of that gone? You know, the churches were full. We had sing songs like Glory, Glory, Hallelujah, because we had come a long way. Our children need to understand, and the reason they don't understand is that we don't tell the story. See, in the Jewish neighborhood, they tell the story. Weekly, tell the story. Some of them don't know what it means that you can't go in this door. You got to get your food out the back. You can't ride in the front. They don't understand that, but I know. I experienced it. I experienced a professor telling me, Mr. Monette, I'll be frank with you, I don't like blacks, I don't like athletes, and you're both. Been through that. Are we really free? But the things that we're doing are putting us right back into bondage. If I go down and look in the jails, what percentage of us going to be in jail? We already know some of it is not going to be right, but 99, 95, 85% of it is going to be us. We do some stupid things sometimes, y'all. You know, I can be driving down, the guy come in, he just running the light, just think I'm running the light. Are we really free? I want us to listen to some things. You know, we go through things and we do things. Freedom is a word tossed about so freely that our generations don't realize the blood, the sweat, and the tears that come behind it. I want y'all to look at that John story, Vernon John story. Very educated man, doctor, was put out of pulpit from pulpit because he didn't stand up. He stood up for right. In fact, the last pulpit he put out was Dexter Avenue Church, big uplift church, a lot of important people, the undertaker, and all of them, all the big folk in the city were there. I remember Vernon Johns looked at his piano and said, go down and move. Dr. John, we don't play anything like that in our church anymore. But see, are we really free? When we think that we are better than the other person, are we really free? And they went through that movie. I'm not going to tell the movie. Y'all go through it. I want y'all to look at it. I really want you to see it for what it is. But one opinion says that let us not become conceited. Let us not or provoke one another or be jealous of one another. And that means we will not compare ourselves with each other as one being better or another being worse, because we all are original people. We all have our originality of what we want to be. And we need to understand, you know, in 1905, a noted civil rights activist penned a hymn written for the anniversary of Abraham Lincoln. It went like this. Lift every voice and sing till earth and heaven ring. Ring with the harmonies of liberty. Are we free? Huh? let our rejoicing rise when we're free. We're supposed to be praising God for breaking, what's that? Broke all the chains. Break all the chains. Break. Can you hear the chains falling? Say, let it resound loud as what? The rolling sea. We sing that song, we don't even really listen to it. This is where the disconnect happened in our world. He said, sing a song full of faith. See, the whole time, you got to have your faith. You got to hold fast your faith in whatever you do. He said, sing a song full of faith that the dark past has taught us. See, our children don't understand because they never were taught about the dark past. Sing a song full of hope that the present has brought us. In other words, we ought to be singing and praising God for where we are now, from where we come from. I come out of Fifth Ward, born in St. Elizabeth Hospital. People talk about Fifth Ward now, but let me tell you something. You never had to leave Fifth Ward for anything. You had your doctors, your lawyers, your dentists, your tailors, you need work on shoes. Anything you wanted was there. But we got a little jealous and we said, well, I'm leaving out of here. We look for better things. And I think as we look for better things, we said, well, you know, I don't want my children to experience this. And what we did, instead of giving them God, we gave them things. And when you give them things, they get so far in water, they're so caught up in the things. Oh, I got to have these shoes. I got to have this type of clothes. I got to have this. Yeah. You know what? We didn't have no designer clothes when I came up. I guess we did. Yeah, I wore designer clothes. I wore polyester. I wore whatever they can give me. Whatever they can give me, that's what I put on. You didn't have no choices. You were glad that God blessed you to have something like that. You know, yeah, these kids out there with Nikes. I went to Danbury's and one, hey, y'all don't know nothing about that. I went to Danbury's and it used to be a little old tall pair of shoes. Hey, y'all know somebody know what I'm talking about. Yeah. See, we appreciated the little things that God gave us. The freedom that he gave us, we didn't want to go back into bondage. And we're taking ourselves back in bondage with the things that we're doing in our communities. Drove down to Little York and I saw so much stuff thrown on the side of the road. I said, why do we do this to our own communities? I can't understand. I can't understand why we're doing robberies in our communities when our communities don't have nothing, when all the people with all, you don't go over there and rob them. I've never understood that. But we got to understand. You say, facing the rising sun. God has broke you up. The sun has rose to give you a new day. We ought to be praising him and thanking him. He said, he woke me up this morning, so the rest is a bonus. He said, let us march on till victory is won. Have we stopped marching? We need to continue to march on. We have something that we got to look forward to. I talked with the young men this morning. Joel, you are our future. We're dependent on you. He said, we sing the song, but do we listen to the words? Stony the road we trod. It wasn't easy. Rocks and all hills and everything. Well, they said, hey, my life ain't been no crystal staircase. It's had tacks in it. But you know, he said, just keep on climbing. Hey, we got to learn to keep on climbing. Don't let the little things sidetrack us. We got to be able to stay where we are. You say, stony, bitter the chastening rods, because felt in the days when unborn had died. See, we don't know how many forefathers was whipped, beaten, hung, children taken away from them. Lord knows. And everybody stands by and just look around. One famous thing that I think that Vernon John said, they say, if you set aside and watch somebody beat somebody right in front of you, you're just as guilty as they are. He said, if you see a good fight, and Vernon John said this, we always give it to my other congressman. He said, if you see a good fight, get in it. He said, come to the place from which our fathers died. All we've been through, we can go through places now. I used to hate to go back to Franklin, Louisiana, because right before we go to Franklin, Louisiana, we go to on the old 90. There was an old plantation, and right in front of that plantation was an old hanging tree. And I used to see that, and I used to get upset. I said, Lord, I was so glad when they created another route where I didn't have to pass and see that. But those things are there. Say, we have come over a way that with tears have been watered. There's been a lot of tears shed, y'all. Been a lot of tears shed so we can be where we are. So you can, church, go where you want to go, look, drive what you want to drive, live where you want to live. Been a lot of tears shed because of that. It didn't just happen. Some folks suffered for that. So we have come treading our path through the blood of the slaughter. We have so much to be thankful for, those that went before us. You know, we need to sit down and look at some of those old movies, the Roots. We need to sit down, and I remember I showed Martin Luther King movie over at the church. We had a sleepover one night at Union, and the girl said, she said, Pastor, did that stuff really happen? I said, are you serious? Yes, this is real. This actually happened. But they just think it's just a movie. No, it's not a movie. We've gone through it. We've been through it. A whole lot of us can tell a whole lot more than I can tell. But I just thank God. He said, out of the gloomy past. Okay, we can look at that gloomy past. Till now we stand at last. Now see, we got to look at that past and then learn something from it. And know that we got to be better. You go, we go on jobs, we got to be twice as good as everybody else. But you do what you got to do in order to be there. You can't just be who you want to be without being your best. If you're the janitor, be the best janitor out there. You know, you got to do what you got to do. He says, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast, God of our weary years. You know the song, God of our silent tears. People, some of y'all here, y'all shed tears. Wondering, oh, is my child gonna make it back home? I saw a little caption in the book, and the policeman asked this little kid, said, where you want to be in the future? He said, alive. Because so many of us are being killed for no reason at all. Thou who has by thy might, we know God has the power. He has all power in his hand. Led us into the what? Light. Keep us forever in thy path. The problem is we've got our past. kids don't know God. We need to bring them back in to God and start teaching. It's not all about that cell phone. Not all about, say, learn. You know, he said, if you don't learn your history, you're doomed to repeat it. And we don't want to repeat that. Keep us forever in the path we pray, lest our feet stray from the places, our God, where we met you. See, where you met God, we got to stay grounded and rooted in the Word. Learn who God is. Know that whatever I'm going through, I know my God is there with me. See, lest our hearts drunk with the wine of the world, we forget thee. That's what them kids get out and say, I can't wait till I'm 19, so I don't have to go to church no more. Some of y'all laughing because y'all said it too. But that's the truth. Shall beneath thy hand may we forever stand, true to our God, true to our native land. Stand fast, therefore, in liberty, wherewith Christ has made us free, and be not entangled in the yoke of bondage. And then when I go down to verse 13 in that chapter, it says, for brethren, we have been called unto liberty, only use not that liberty for an occasion to the flesh, but by love serve one another. See, when they free you, when you free truly in your minds, you know that I'm free, that I might be a blessing to somebody else. You keep moving. You see, so often we're caught up in the flesh. We do things for the flesh that pleases the flesh. But pleasing the flesh won't get you into heaven. You got to please the Spirit. And see, we got to learn the fruits of the Spirit. But in the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith. We didn't say meekness. When you meek, it don't mean that you're scared of nobody. Meekness, temperance. Okay, I know there's stuff out there, but temperance. So don't be drunk. Temperance. Against such there is no law. And they that are Christ have crucified the flesh. See, all this stuff, the flesh needs to be gone. We ought to be walking in the Spirit with the affections of lust. But if we live in the Spirit, we also walk in the Spirit. Let us not be desirous of vainglory. And see, that's what's going on now. Vainglory. I need things. I need these. I can't wear a number of Nikes. I can't wear this. I can't wear this shirt. My daughter's always, Daddy, you can't wear that. You can't mix Nike and Adidas. I said, girl, one blue and one gray. I don't care. I'm wearing it. I said, you might well go. I ain't playing them games. They ain't know not to tell me anything because they ain't. You don't care? I said, no, I don't care. I said, because ain't neither one of them put no money in my pocket. So your freedom is given you by God first. But God has brought you mighty, mighty, mighty long way. And he didn't bring you here to leave you. So know that if you want to be free, keep your mind grounded and rooted in God. He didn't say everything gonna be all right. He didn't say you won't have no problems in your life. But he did say, I'll never leave you. No. We said all in the name of the Father, of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. But freedom is not free. It costs a lot of people their lives.